Alright, time for a top 10. This is your favorite guy in the world, Mr. J is here, and guess who's here with me?
The Mountain Man.
The Mountain Man is here. We're doing the top 10. But it was funny because we couldn't decide which one, and he's the one who pushed for this one. Which one are we doing today?
Top 10 Arnold Schwarzenegger movies.
It's going to be a fun list. We compiled it. Interesting list, would you say?
Yeah, to say the least.
Yeah, I have no qualms about how this list went. So with that said, we will get started. But before we do, notable mentions. This will kind of give you a hint what's there. So End of Days didn't make the list. Jingle All the Way, Last Stand, Raw Deal, Eraser, Expendables, and AJ's favorite. What was your favorite again?
Hercules in New York.
He didn't even speak.
It doesn't matter.
He was just there.
You gotta pay homage.
Gotta pay homage, definitely. So with that said, let's get started.
The droid you are looking for. Top 10. Countdown.
Get ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Damn it, Wade! Large-breasted naked fan lady, we're on our way!
Number 10.
I'll be back.
Terminator. I'm kind of shocked where this ended up.
I am too, actually.
Terminator 1 is just made the list. It could have been beaten out by End of Days or Jingle All the Way.
That's terrible, actually.
Well, it's not really its fault. It's a cult classic, right? It was Terminator 2 that everyone will remember. So that's kind of a hint if it's still on the top 10. Number 10 isn't too bad for it. It came out in the 80s?
Mid-80s?
Mid-80s. And it was just known for how gory and violent it was, I guess I would say. He punched a hole in a man's chest.
Yeah.
In 1980, that was unheard of.
Absolutely.
Any notable things? Do you think this should have been higher up on the list?
I think it should have. I think I put it actually somewhere higher, probably around 6 or 7 myself.
6 or 7. Well, that sets room president. Well, it's actually more president. What's next?
Number 9.
Oh, sluts.
Conan.
You know, I never was a fan of Conan, but it is a Schwarzenegger classic.
Yeah, absolutely. In that sense, I wasn't a huge fan of Conan. I did put it pretty low on my list personally, but yes, it is another cult classic.
I honestly don't even think it made my list. To be perfect. Maybe it did. I don't honestly recall. You know what was on the list? That fucking car they just drove by.
That's right.
That wasn't on the list.
That's not on the list, not even an honorable
But we'll
mention.
end this one with, do you think they're going to make that sequel?
I do.
King Conan. Ugh.
And he's supposed to be in it.
Supposed to be in it, dragging his balls in the dust because he's so old. Is the camel going to be reprising its role?
I would think so.
Sorry, Mr. Camel.
Number 8.
But Sally, when I promised to kill you last,
That's right, Major. You did.
I lied.
Commando. Great classic film. One of my first Schwarzenegger films, I think. What do you think?
Decent, actually. I rated it a little bit higher than where it ended up, but I have a feeling other people just left it completely off their list.
It was kind of shocking, being switched. There were such great lines in this film that I don't even remember, but they were so bad.
What Arnold Schwarzenegger movie didn't have, punny lines?
Jingle All the Way did not. Hence why it's not on the list.
Yeah.
Commando really, I think, was one of his first films by himself. I want to say it was.
I would think so.
And basically, the story. What's the premise of the storyline again? Someone kidnapped his daughter.
A young Alyssa Milano.
Indeed. What did he do? He showed up with a machine gun and murdered them all. Emperor Schwarzenegger moments. Pretty fantastic.
Number 7.
Rubber baby buggy bumpers.
Last Action Hero. I totally disagree with this one. It didn't even make my list. I thought it was just absolutely horrible.
Didn't you want the golden ticket?
I don't know, maybe Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Well, it technically was. Charlie in a movie factory.
There you go, with guns.
I like the film only because it was kind of like a movie shot inside of a movie, and Schwarzenegger kind of played himself, but didn't play himself. It was just a really weird movie, but it was still good. It wasn't bad. It was a Schwarzenegger film, and Stallone became the Terminator in that film, if you remember.
That's true.
And that's why I hope when there's Sylvester Stallone top 10, which will happen one day, we'll talk about how Schwarzenegger was the president in Demolition Man.
I still think the only good thing to come out of this movie was the soundtrack.
The soundtrack was pretty badass. That was actually one of my favorite soundtracks with, what was it, Megadeth and Alice in Chains and,
Alice Cooper?
Alice Cooper, AC/DC. It had a huge library of music, and I loved it. So let's move on to the next one.
Number 6.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Terminator 2. How this ended up at number 6 and not in the top 3 is beyond me, AJ. I'm confused.
I agree 100%. I rated it very, very high.
Now, out of a good amount of people who voted on this list, for this to come in at number 6, I literally almost fell out of my chair because I always assumed that Terminator 2 was probably Schwarzenegger's best work.
I don't know if I would go that far that it was his best work, but it was definitely one of the best.
What do you mean? It had great lines like "Hasta la vista, baby." It like messed up my childhood. You live.
You live. That's it. I'm sorry.
Yes,
yeah,
because
my bad.
shooting someone in the kneecaps justifies the action. Well, he didn't die. I just shot him in the leg, so he'll be fine. This film also revolutionized how we looked at movies because it brought in the T-1000 CGI, which blew everyone's fucking mind. Did it blow your mind?
It blew my mind.
Well, my mind didn't. I don't even think I saw this in the theater. I think I just waited until it came out on VHS.
No, I did certainly see it in the theater. CGI, hashtag head explode.
Wow. All right, moving on.
Number 5.
Hey, Killian! Here is Sub-Zero! Now, Plane Zero!
The Running Man. If I had anything to specifically say about this movie, had some of the best Schwarzenegger lines ever.
That is not an understatement whatsoever. This film, based off a Robert Bachman book, aka Stephen King, became quite a revolutionary action film for Schwarzenegger. It was pretty cheesy. Let's recite some of these great lines. You go first.
Buzzsaw, he had to split.
Sub-Zero, now, no zero. I don't even remember the one for Dynamo. What was the one for Dynamo?
I honestly
He was the
don't
electrical guy.
Yeah.
Shocking. I don't know. It could have been something really stupid like that. A lot of cool death. That's all I can honestly say. Or, Killian, I hope you have enough room in your stomach because I'm going to punch down your throat and rip out your goddamn spine!
And of course, Killian, Richard Donner of Family Feud fame. Really?
Why not?
It worked.
It definitely did work. It was all Jesse the Body Ventura was in it, but he didn't have the big role.
No.
He was Captain something or other. I don't remember the character's name, to be perfectly honest with you.
No.
It was like a captain or whatever, and he ended up bowing out, and then you had
the cheesy CGI scene.
Yeah. Overall, a great Schwarzenegger film. This, I honestly thought going into this would be ranked 1 or 2.
I would definitely put top 3.
Top 3. But yet, the top 10, it doesn't go as we always planned because it's a voting process. So coming in number 5 is still pretty good.
Solid.
All right, let's go to number 4.
Number 4.
Stop whining. You kids are soft. You lack discipline. But I've got news for you. You're mine now. You belong to me. You're not gonna have your mommy stand behind you anymore and wipe your little tushes. Oh no, it's time now to turn this mush into muscles. No more complaining, no more Mr. Kimble have to go to the bathroom, nothing. There is no bathroom.
Kindergarten Cop. Yes, it's on the top 4, AJ.
I know.
It's time to come to terms that it got there.
Like you said, it's a democracy.
It is a democracy.
My one vote meant shit.
That's very true. If this was a dictatorship, then it probably wouldn't even made the list if it was you.
Yeah.
I don't know why it had great lines like it's not a tumor, boys have a penis, girls have a vagina, who's your daddy, what does he do? Great lines.
Didn't carry it for me.
It was a great film.
No,
I had the crazy little old lady that always scared the shit out of you growing up. She was in horror films and stuff. She could have been like the Amityville Horror beyond me. Speaking of the Amityville Horror, great film overall. It was Schwarzenegger's first attempt at comedy.
Yes.
Before Twins.
No.
Was it? I thought
No,
it was before
post-Twins.
Post-Twins. The Twins didn't even make the list.
No, not even close.
Wow.
And there's a reason for that.
Why? What's the reason?
Let's see. Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito. Bad idea.
And he didn't have a tumor.
Number 3.
Get to the chopper!
Predator.
Yes.
I totally agree with where this ended up.
Really, I actually thought this was the number 1 movie. I went into this saying it's number 1 movie because it's the role that everyone knows Schwarzenegger for. However, it did spawn off a series of bad sequels.
Horrible sequels. I don't even want to talk about...
What's wrong with Predator 2? That one wasn't too bad with Gary Busey.
Danny Glover.
Gary Busey's a great actor.
Oh, he's fantastic.
So is his son.
Where is he now?
Celebrity Rehab. We also had Alien vs. Predator, Alien vs. Predator 2. You had the Predators movie with Adrian Brody. Great guy.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. I just know him for his nose. He's got a big fucking Jewish nose. That's what I remember him for. But this is a classic. Great lines came out of this one, like kill it with fire.
Yes.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
And of course, we've got another appearance by Jesse the Body Ventura.
Gotta have Ventura and everything. He's now Jesse the Mind Ventura.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's the governor now.
Oh,
well, he was a governor.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing nowadays. He's probably killing someone.
Talk shows.
He's doing talk shows?
I believe.
What?
Yeah.
We gotta get him on the podcast.
Big about conspiracy theories.
Oh, that's right. So what was his line again? I have no time to bleed.
That's exactly it.
Number 2.
Press the button for the top floor, please.
True Lies. Now this was a fucking shocker. I didn't think I'd get to number 2.
No, I thought it was a great movie.
When Schwarzenegger's career was in the toilet, I guess I could say that. He wasn't making anything worthwhile at the time.
Needed to make a movie, needed to throw some cash in the bank.
So how do you do it? Well, you get Tom Arnold, and you get a giant pair of tits. And Jamie Lee Curtis was born.
Scream Queen herself.
Absolutely, even though she spawned off multiple Halloween movies, which I almost hung myself over. But ultimately, True Lies had the best things. It had comedy, had action, wittiness, ridiculous explosions. I thought Michael Bay was there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But my favorite thing that makes me reminisce of True Lies is when Jamie Lee Curtis dropped the Uzi and literally killed everyone.
Yes, and the other one when she's hanging from the chopper out of the limo, screaming her head off.
That's perfect. Right. That's right.
Perfect.
But was there any vintage lines?
Not that I recall.
No. The only thing I honestly remember from that movie is the stupid code names of Doris and Boris.
Yes.
That was pretty annoying. With Tom Arnold talking, which is equally as annoying. So, with that said, what is number 1? Alright, in a quick recap of today's top 10. Number 10 is Terminator.
Number 9, Conan.
Number 8, Commando.
Number 7, Last Action Hero.
Number 6, Terminator 2.
Number 5, Running Man.
Number 4,
Number 3, Predator.
And number 2, True Lies.
And number 1.
2 weeks.
Excuse me?
2 weeks.
Of the top 10 Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, Total Recall.
Total Recall.
Recall.
Recall. You know, it doesn't help when I listen to Austrian Death Machine. They say Total Recall.
Well, it's like caliber, right? Like a gun.
Yes. Now that you put it that way, sense has been made.
No.
I'm saying that in a question. Now, this was a shocker. I did not expect this as number 1. Top 3 at most, not number 1.
I tend to agree.
Really? I think Running Man should have took it, but everyone seems to love Total Recall. Now, the funny part is there was a sequel. Well, not a sequel. It was kind of like a remake? Reboot? With Colin Farrell. Did not do Total Recall.
No, I didn't even watch it. I heard too many bad things about it.
It was good on its own. It did not try to be a Schwarzenegger film.
Well, that's good, because it wasn't Schwarzenegger.
Now, what's some great lines from this movie?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. And you can never forget the green triple-titted broad.
No,
because you just want to feel all those tits.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, with that said, this is our top 10 of the Schwarzenegger films, and keep in mind, it's our list, so if you don't like it, go fuck yourself. If your name is Dan Morrison, go fuck yourself.
Absolutely.
Put that in the podcast, just make sure you heard that. So, with that said, you go ahead and close it, AJ.
No, I'm not gonna do it to you again.
Why?
No.
Okay, fine. We're just gonna, I don't know, oh shit, I said copyright. Jim Norton's.
I'm gonna
kind of blurt. Can you blurt that out in audio?
Yeah, you can bleep it.
Just boop.
Yeah.
Okay, and with that said, enjoy a chimichanga.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Thanks for listening to the Droids You Are Looking For podcast. Stay tuned for next week's podcast.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.